What's up, guys? Today we're back with another Bible video. So, we left up at God's amazing promise. So, now we're gonna go to Abraham's big test. Update now. Update available. Okay, I'll update it now. So, I'll be right back, you guys. Okay, so. I can read it and do an activity, but first I have to read it and then do the activity. So that is what the new update is. So let's read it.
God promised Abraham a son, and from that son, many descendants, who would bless the whole world. But Abraham and his wife Sarah were too old to have children. 20 years went by. Still, Abraham trusted God's promise. When he was 100 and Sarah was 90, God reminded them of his promise. Sarah was going to have a baby. When their son was born, Sarah was so joyful that she laughed. "God has brought me laughter," she said. So they named their son Isaac, which means he laughs. When Isaac was a boy, God tested Abraham by telling him to take Isaac to Mount Moriah and kill him as a sacrifice to God. Abraham was confused, but still he trusted God. Isaac carried the wood, and Abraham held the knife and torch. Together they climbed the mountain. "Where is the lamb for the sacrifice?" asked Isaac. "God will provide it," Abraham replied. Abraham arranged the wood on an altar, tied up Isaac, and laid him on the wood. As he raised the knife to kill Isaac, an angel called his name, "Abraham!"
What did God tell Abraham to kill as a sacrifice? A donkey? Isaac? Or whatever, a sheep? Or donkey? Or whatever. That's the answer right there.
"Don't hurt the boy," the angel cried. "God knows you trust his promise. Look, there in the bushes, a ram is caught by its horns. Sacrifice that instead." So Abraham sacrificed the ram instead of his son. He called the place "God will provide," because God provided the sacrifice. Just as God had said, his promise came true.
Abraham built an altar to give to God, giving thanks for all he had open promised. What do you guys think? Alright, let me use my mind. Oh no, I had nothing. Oh, it's true. That's so embarrassing. Oh. Alright. What did the... Alright. Now for the activity. I thought we just read this. Wait a second. I already read this. It's fine. Moving on. Read. Oh, I see. I have to update every single one of them. Alright, then I'll try, so I'll be right back again. Oh, my bad. Okay, so we're gonna do 4, cause I haven't been doing Bible videos in a long time. So we need 3 more.
Jacob had 12 sons, but he loved his son Joseph the most. He gave Joseph a special brightly colored coat. Joseph's brothers were jealous of him. They hated him. Joseph also had special dreams. In my dream, we were tying up bundles of wheat, he said, and your bundles bowed down to mine. Joseph's brothers hated him even more. Joseph had another dream. The sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down before me. His father and brothers grumbled. Are you saying you will rule over us? One day, Joseph's brothers were in the fields watching their sheep. They saw him coming to see them. They planned to kill him and put an end to all his dreams. It would be wrong to kill our brother, said Reuben. Let's throw him in this empty well. So they tore off Joseph's special coat and threw him into the well. Ishmaelite traders came by on their way to Egypt. Let's sell Joseph as a slave to the Ishmaelites, suggested Judah. So the brothers sold Joseph for 20 pieces of silver.
Did all Joseph's brothers want to kill him? Hey? Oh, I see.
The brothers dipped Joseph's coat in goat's blood and showed it to Jacob. My son is dead, he wept. Meanwhile, Joseph was taken to Egypt, but God was with Joseph. In Egypt, the Ishmaelites sold Joseph to Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's captains. God blessed Joseph and made him successful. Potiphar put Joseph in charge of his whole household.
Okay. Abraham built an altar to God, giving thanks to heaven. What?
Had 12 sons, but he Joseph the most. He gave Joseph a...
Okay, now we're here. God was with Joseph even when he was a slave in Egypt. Yes. So what is that? 2 more. Now, dreams come true.
Joseph served Potiphar well. Potiphar's wife wanted Joseph to sin against God. Joseph refused, so she lied about him. Potiphar believed her, and Joseph was thrown into prison. In prison, Joseph met 2 of Pharaoh's servants. They each had dreams, and God showed Joseph their meaning. Joseph's explanations came true. The cupbearer was released, and the baker was hanged. 2 years later, Pharaoh had 2 troubling dreams. The cupbearer remembered what Joseph had done for him and told Pharaoh. So Pharaoh sent for Joseph and told him his dreams.
God helped Joseph understand the meaning of dreams. Oh gosh, I'm gonna get this wrong. I knew it. Oh, I'm so sorry I'm getting all this wrong.
God showed Joseph the meaning of Pharaoh's dreams. For 7 years, a lot of food will grow, said Joseph. So store up food because 7 years of famine will follow. Pharaoh was impressed by Joseph's wisdom, So he put Joseph in charge of storing up all the food. Apart from Pharaoh, no one in Egypt was more powerful than Joseph. Joseph's brothers went to Egypt to buy food. They bowed before Joseph, but did not recognize him. When he saw that they had changed, he told them who he was.
Why did Pharaoh put Joseph in charge of?
The brothers were terrified. "You meant to harm me," Joseph said, "but God used that for good. Bring all of our family to Egypt. We will have plenty to eat."
Joseph's brother meant to harm him, but God brought good out of it. Okay. So this is the last one. I can't move it. Okay. A baby in a bush.
Egypt was filled with Israelites. The new Pharaoh was afraid that the Israelites would become too powerful, so he made them slaves and treated them very badly.
Oh, man.
Pharaoh ordered that all baby Israelite boys had to be killed. One woman put her baby in a basket and hid him by the river's edge. His sister watched him.
Did Pharaoh make the Israelites slaves because he thought that they were becoming too weak?
Pharaoh's daughter was bathing by the river. She found the baby and decided to keep him. His sister offered their mother's help to care for him. Pharaoh's daughter named him Moses. Moses grew up. One day, he saw an Egyptian beating an Israelite. Moses killed the Egyptian. Then he fled to Midian and was a shepherd for 40 years. Moses was watching his sheep on Mount Horeb. The voice of God spoke from a burning bush. "My people are suffering, Moses. I have chosen you to free them." "I can't," Moses cried. "I'll help you," God promised. "Throw down your staff." Moses did. It turned into a snake. When he picked it up, it was a staff again.
How did God speak to Moses? Oh, this is the animation again.
"Put your hand in your cloak," God said. Moses did. He looked. It was covered with disease. When he did it again, it was healed. "Show Pharaoh that," God said. "I'm not a good speaker," said Moses. I'll give you the words, God said. Your brother Aaron can help. So Moses went to tell Pharaoh to set the Israelites free.
God promised to help Moses when he went to tell Pharaoh to let the Israelites go. Here? Oh, God promised to help Moses. Oh, I thought it said God did not. Alright, let's just do one more because I like this. Or actually, two more.
Moses and Aaron told Pharaoh, "The God of the Israelites says you must let his people go free. Otherwise, bad things will happen to you." But Pharaoh would not listen. So God turned the water in Egypt into blood. No one could drink it. Then he filled the Egyptian houses with frogs. Frogs were everywhere. Still Pharaoh would not listen. So God filled the skies of Egypt with gnats. They covered the people like dust. Then he struck the land of Egypt with flies. Still, Pharaoh would not listen. So God killed the animals of Egypt: horses, donkeys, camels, sheep, cows, and goats all died. Then he covered the Egyptian people with sores. Still, Pharaoh would not listen. God sent hail to crush the crops of Egypt. Their barley and flax were destroyed. Then he sent locusts to eat what fruit remained. Still Pharaoh would not listen. So God sent darkness over the land. But again, Pharaoh would not listen. God said, "I will kill every firstborn son in Egypt, and all the firstborn of the animals." My people must kill a lamb, eat it, and put its blood on their doorposts. I will see the blood and pass over their houses. Those children will not die. You will call this Passover, and always remember it. The Israelites obeyed God, but the Egyptian firstborn sons died, even Pharaoh's son. Finally, Pharaoh listened. He let the Israelites go.
Bad things happened to Egypt because Pharaoh would not let God's people go. Alright, so last one. And I can't move it again. Wow. Alright. God makes a way. They're fighting over the Red Sea and the Ten Commandments. Exodus 14, 16, 11, 16, 17, 1, 7, 19, 20.
After Pharaoh's son died in the 10th plague, he let the Israelites leave. They were near the Red Sea when Pharaoh changed his mind again and chased after them.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
When the Israelites saw Pharaoh's chariots, they were terrified. But God told Moses to raise his staff toward the Red Sea. God sent a strong wind and parted the sea. Oh. A dry path appeared, and the Israelites walked straight through the Red Sea. There was a wall of water on each side of them. They arrived safely on the other side. Pharaoh and his army followed them into the sea. God told Moses to stretch out his hand. Then the sea rolled back again, and Pharaoh and his army all drowned.
Pharaoh and his army chased Israelites and captured them again in the Red Sea.
God led his people through a wilderness. He fed them and gave them water. They camped at Mount Sinai, where God told Moses to meet him on the mountaintop. Surrounded by fire and smoke, Moses climbed to the top, and God came down to meet him.
Where did God tell Moses to meet him?
Then, God gave Moses the 10 Commandments on 2 stone tablets. Don't worship other gods. Don't make idols. Treat my name with respect. Treat the Sabbath day as a special day. Respect your parents. Don't murder. Be loyal to your husband or your wife. Don't steal. Don't lie. Don't envy people or what they own. Now, the people knew how to obey God.
Did the 10 Commandments tell the Israelites how to obey God? Well, that's it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed and you want to see more Bible videos, make sure to give this a big thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you all later.